All right, but let's talk about Crucible real quick, since it did get a bit of an overhaul. So as far as the actual event itself, the scoring milestones are still the same. The Alliance one is still 2 million points for the maximum, still giving out the same amount of Alliance trophies. None of that stuff changed. What did change a little bit is they did add some additional ships in here for you to get points for. So normally you kill a hostile, you get 1 point. Depending on what ship you use, you get certain bonus points. So they did make some adjustments and did add a few ships, like the Mantis and Voyager are now included. The Talios and the Titan and stuff are now included. I don't think there's anything additional in here that was added, but yeah, so now all ships basically have some type of scoring metric. So that's certainly going to help people finish this hopefully faster as they're able to use the ship that they prefer. As far as the solo milestones, again, not really much here. Again, just put the same thing with the points and the new ships being added. But the big update was to the rewards. And I just closed my Twitch window. That's always fun. Wildly gesticulating with my mouse, and look what happened. So, just trying to go over to stfc.space, or actually the this is not for Scopely one. So if we go look at the SMS payouts did get increased as well. If we go look at Crucible and we search for stuff over let's say last month. So let's look at last month's event, solo milestone. Let's go look at that. These are what you had to do. And then depending on what bracket you were in, so let's just look at my bracket, and we'll do this for a quick comparison. 53 to 55, this was my event last month in June. So I had to get the same 42.5 million points, just same 42.5 million points. Still got the same amount of trophies and stuff, but what did I actually get in par steal? Again, we'll pull it back over here. You can see I got 6 billion in par steal plus 9 billion in tokens and another 150 million in tokens. Compared to now, where I get 36 billion in par steal. So that's 6 times better. 9 billion tokens went up to 36 billion tokens, so that's 4 times better. And this went from 150 to 375, so that's 2.5 times better. Significant improvements to this stuff. The other thing that changed, drastically being increased, is your daily rewards or your alliance rewards for cashing in your Crucible stuff. Don't have screenshots for this, but some of the other content creators did videos that did include their old screenshot versus their new screenshots. The rewards, the amount of resources here, this was going up 3 to 4 times what it did. The amount of tokens and stuff here went up, again, a significant amount from what you were getting. Even for like the G5 players, a lot of this stuff was only paying out like G4 rewards at some events in the past. So this has certainly seen a drastic improvement. Across the board. Now the Armada tokens did not change. This one is still identical to what it was. It's only the resource-based ones that got a lot better. And the crystal one is still paying out double. You'll notice here 277 and 72 versus this one over here paying out 505 and 131. So for some reason, they feel like people just need more crystal, so we're going to give them more crystal for stuff. So you're getting certainly more value if you need that resource out of your claim here. Par steel ore and dilithium and gas are paying out a standard amount, and the other one is being doubled. The other big change is the recruit bundles. And to demonstrate this, I think the best way to do it is just to go to my level 15 account, because that one still has the old bundle on it. So you have 2 new officer pools to pull from, which we're going to do here in just a second. But let's go look at what the old one was first. They're definitely fattening us up for something. They are certainly giving out an abundance of resources as if they want players to be able to move up faster, right? I mean, we've been saying that for a while now, right? They want players to be able to move up faster. Why would they possibly want to do that? They want to get everybody out of G3 and into G4 as quickly as possible. Because they want them to be there when G6 starts soon. What? Who said that? Who said something about G6 starting soon? I don't know what you're talking about. All right. So I think this is finally... Nope, still loading. Game always does take a while to start up on BlueStacks. I apologize. I should have had this ready to go, but I wasn't thinking about doing this just yet. All right. So let's see what we got. Come on. Partially over rewards have increased a lot. Still not giving out a lot of trit. No, they are not giving out a lot of trit. Although, I mean, what am I getting here? 13 billion plus another half, so 13.5 billion from this bundle. You know, if I'm trying to repair a G5 ship, that's like 3 to 4 hull repairs, 3 full hull repairs plus some extra per bundle. So that's not terrible for a base level reward. All right. Let's go back to our recruit tab. So, this is the old box. You had Pike, Kirk, Gorkon, Nero. You had your, your 3 faction officers plus your 3 Trinity officers plus Pike. And then it's the same as the recruit packs. There's a few other officers sprinkled in, like Yuki Moreau, that also aren't in those packs. But it's Sulu, Scotty, Arcady. You've got a few other officers like Chen that are in here, plus your Romulan and Klingon officers, and that's what you've got to pull from. Also notice that, the scoring on these is about the same still. You've got your 1 chest at 50, your double chest at 100. Your 5 chest pull should be 250, but it's 400. So drastically upcharged for doing the 5 chest pull. I'm just going to do a 2 chest pull because we're right here. See what we get. Because this account does still need some officers. And hey, we got a Charvanek. Now, on the new account, the graphics stayed the same, but they essentially split the officers into 2 separate pools. So you took your original faction officers, they're still here, some of them. They've kind of all been mismatched and scrambled and thrown around. So you still have your 3 faction rares, or epics rather, plus a handful of new epics. You still have Bones and Livis and Az but you don't have like some of the rest of them. Like there's no Spock in here or anything like that. So some of those people got mixed out. Yuki is still here, but Moreau is not. Chen is still here. Hendorf got added. You know, you've got Arcadian Sulu, but you don't have Scotty. You've got some TOS officers. You've got some TNG officers. So definitely a good mashup of old versus new content added into box number 1. We'll do a 2 chest pull. Also, a few officers that don't have sourcing, like Lursa, also got added into this bundle. The other pack over here, this is where you now have your Trinity officers and Pike. They got moved to this bundle, along with Moreau. And again, we've got Giorgio, LaForge, TOS, see Spock and Uhura got moved over here. Kurla, Krell, Vemet, some of these people all got moved over to this box. And it is a hodgepodge with some TOS, some TNG officers. You can see Tasha, Chekhov, Sulu, McCoy, Bev Crusher. And even down in here, you also have Leslie getting some sourcing, as well as Elena Makinen, who also does not have any other sourcing in the game, being added over here now. So there are very limited ways to source these officers, but at least there is now a free-to-play path for a better free-to-play path, should I say, because technically they were put in those stupid elite bundles that nobody should ever buy, ever. But now a chance to get Leslie and Hendorf unlocked. You still can't get the 2 common guys, but hey, at least, 2 out of 4 is better than 0 out of 4. As well as Makinen, who is a Isogen mining speed boost. Certainly helps out on your Meridian to just crank through those nodes in minutes. Nevin, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription renewal for month number 4 now. So those are the big changes there. This bundle is still the same cost, same reward payouts, same I button chances. Nothing changed with that I've noticed. So it's higher payouts in the Alliance bundles for the resources, 2 officer options, and opportunities to source new officers who haven't been there before. So hopefully that helps you understand what changes were made. They are good changes, probably not quite as significant as we would have liked. I mean, these bundles are still fairly large, so trying to get the actual officers that you want is very unlikely. They probably, we would have preferred if they were pared down a little bit to have fewer officers available in them. Probably some of those uncommons could have been thinned out a little bit so there weren't so many, so maybe you might actually have a shot at getting Makinen or Hendorf or Leslie instead of just getting, officer XP for the plethora of uncommon officers that are in there that most people probably already have maxed out. So, Sincori asked, are Armadas buggy on your... Yeah, Armadas are bugged across the board. Certain systems, they spawn just fine, and certain systems, they don't respawn at all. It seems to be some of the lower level systems are the ones where they are not respawning very well. Like if I go look at this 42 Borg system, there's a couple nodes in here, but there probably should be more. But if I go look at, like, where's the 46 one? We were just looking at the 46 one up here. This one seems to be respawning just fine. There's a pretty decent complement, plus there's people in here, so they've obviously been running Armadas for a while now. So, not sure what the difference is in how it's making its assessment, determination, whatever. But the lower level systems seem to be having a lot of issues across the board. Eclipse Armada's not respawning, Borg and Dominion Solos not respawning. But when you get into the higher level systems, these ones seem to be working as intended, which is strange, but I mean, I guess not to be unexpected that they would be behaving differently, right? And I will do a hydrate because I am feeling a little parched. Perfect timing there, Wraith. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Bel Air. You chose the Armada directives and you chose the crappy old box without knowing there was a difference. Well, the officer boxes were both changed. There is no crappy old box anymore unless you're under Ops 20, I think. That's why my Ops 15 account is still getting the old box because it's only Ops 15. I'm going to guess it changes at 20, which is where the threshold seems to be for a lot of the changes. But as far as the Crucible boxes, the old box was split into two boxes and then they backfilled it with more officers. So both of these are technically new. They're new options. Now, what I am incredibly disappointed by is the fact that Armadas are bugged and are broken, and yet there hasn't been. I mean, there was an official announcement Beck made yesterday. Issues being worked on. Armadas should be recovering over the next few hours. They were working on this as of yesterday several times. But they were a little slow to sort of acknowledge the issue and there hasn't been a good communication follow-up that, hey, things still aren't better and it's nearly 24 hours later. The other part, of course, that they haven't addressed yet, which has been going on for over a week now, are the formation armadas. These are still not working right. And DJ was talking about it with Jules and Blue Mandalorian, and other people were on his channel. I think it was Thursday night stream, where sometimes you can't set the third armada. Sometimes you do all three armadas and you just don't get the bonus chests. Sometimes it's when people have Tuvok. Sometimes it's when you're not using Tuvok. So people wanted to try and blame it on Tuvok, saying, "Oh, it's trying to calculate the loot bonus from Tuvok, and that's why it's all screwed up." That does not seem to be the case because people without Tuvok are also having issues in terms of getting your chests. This has not been really publicly acknowledged yet that the formation armadas are all jacked up. And like I said, this has been going on for over a week now. Almost 2 weeks now, actually, at this point. And it's very disappointing that the issue is still persisting after this long. And a public service announcement has not really been made on the official Discord warning players that these armadas, you might be better off saving your directives. Nezha, you're saying Ops 29, you still have the old box? Interesting. So you're 29 and you only have one box to choose from in the recruit bundle and it's just the old one? Okay, I would have thought that would have changed earlier than that, but all right, I guess maybe they are only giving this to higher level players than that. Wonder if it's 30 or 35 that they set the cutoff at then? Anyone in the low 30s in chat right now who can tell me what box they have? Zeta, you are Ops 32 and you have the two new boxes. Okay, so now we're narrowing it down. 29 only has the old box, but 32 has the two new boxes. So maybe it's 30 then that they're changing things. That would make a little more sense, right? Because no, not really, because not like you're starting anything big at 30.